You don't need us to tell you that there are a lot of Pokemon games. So many Pokemon games, and so many remakes of those games in fact, that over the years we've become experts not just in the catching, collecting and battling of pocket monsters, but also in precious and semi-precious gems. Emerald, Sapphire, Ruby, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl? At least if this YouTube thing doesn't work out, we can always be gemstone appraisers. We could get one of those little magnifying glasses! But guess what? Those main series games are just the tip of a Snorlax-sized iceberg. And if you delve deep enough, you'll find Pokemon's history is packed full of spin-offs so completely bizarre they'd make your eyes bleed. Although Outside Xtra assumes no responsibility if these ones do make your eyes bleed. Here then are 7 extremely bizarre Pokemon spin-off games you'll just have to trust us are real. Yeah, no, sorry mate, it's trash.
Aww. The secret to a long-lasting game franchise is not to use all your weirdest ideas too early. For instance, a talking Pikachu who is a detective? Pretty weird. Try a whole 20 years after the first game, feels about right. And a game where Professor Oak runs a TV network and you have to help him promote it, just 6 years after the first game. Wow, just couldn't wait, could you? That game is Pokemon Channel, a truly unhinged 2003 Pokemon spin-off for the GameCube that, and I feel this bears repeating, involves you the player helping Professor Oak refine his latest commercial venture by being a test audience for a TV network. In practice, this means watching a whole lot of Poke programming, then telling Professor Oak the words he's been dying to hear, that yes, you have watched his anime about 2 Pichu brothers.
You see, life's a blast with your best friend by your side.
Right, so the game is just a cute way of presenting a Pichu cartoon. Well, that's not too weird, right? Right? Wrong! Professor Oak's brand new anime is just one of the many channels he has seemingly sunk his life savings into funding, and your job is to watch all of them. Hey, did you know Smoochum has an exercise show? Well, it does. At least Pikachu's into it. Also, Wobbuffet has a quiz show where you have the chance to win cash, but fair warning, to spend the cash you have to flip to a channel where Squirtle hosts a shopping show that feels less like any kind of video game we've ever played and more like a fever dream.
Squirtle, Squirtle. Squirtle, squirt, squirt, Squirtle. Squirtle, Squirtle.
For a dose of reality though, why not check out Psyduck's newscast, which features strangely distressing broadcasts about, for instance, an Oddish that has gone missing, punctuated by bleeding-edge take-to-the-streets journalism from none other than Meowth.
I'm here on the scene.
Duskull. Duskull.
I see. And there you have it. That ends my report from the scene.
And that ends my already tenuous grasp on reality. Thanks, Meowth. Pokemon Channel only makes less sense the more you play, as flipping between TV channels eventually gives rise to a story of sorts, in which you must save the day by recovering a disc containing, oh no, more of Professor Oak's anime.
Magnemite! 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 Magnemite!
Blaziken.
We're no doctors, but it seems likely that watching too much of Professor Oak's programming will make your brain melt into liquid. Unfortunately, it's not possible to just pretend to the professor that you watched his terrible shows all the way to the end. Sorry, brain. We had a good run.
Games would have you believe that Pokemon is all about cooperation and a shared bond of trust and love between person and Pokemon. Which is why it's so refreshing to see a spin-off like Pokemon Rumble, a game that admits, finally, that Pokemon is and always has been about seeing strong animals of different kinds absolutely leathering each other. It's the Pokemon Battle Royale, baby! Kill or be killed. Released in 2009, this WiiWare downloadable title will almost certainly have sailed under your radar. Probably because its premise, in which clockwork toy Pokemon compete in a grisly deathmatch of which there can only be one survivor, is absolutely hat-stand. The story, such as it is, follows a plucky young Rattata who, despite being only a teeny rodent, manages to enter the Battle Royale because a little gap in the gates is left open. Of course, you've played enough games to know how this story goes. Something tells me the burly Pokemon in this arena are about to discover they sorely underestimated our tiny purple hero, and that high levels and brawny attacks are no match for a courageous heart and a— oh wait, no, it's been killed easily. Note to self, abandon dreams. The real game, it soon transpires, is crawling through a series of areas, tearing chunks out of the Pokemon living there, with the aim of occasionally knocking one over and claiming it as part of your team. So that, of course, you can go on to tear strips off of increasingly strong Pokemon using powerful beasts like Pikachu or Ivysaur, presumably in a bid to eventually be the only Pokemon alive in the world. But why the hell are all the Pokemon clockwork? Well, likely so the developers could reuse the iffy-looking models from a previous game, My Pokemon Ranch, a WiiWare title where you stand in a field with a bunch of toy Pokemon who all act like they don't want to kill each other to find out who's strongest. You're only lying to yourselves, Pokemon.
Who can even tell how much money the Pokemon Company has made from the trading card game? After all, the Pokemon TCG has become a collectible juggernaut since its debut in 1996, with 34.1 billion Pokemon cards produced at the time of writing. I could probably use that figure to estimate the trading card game's total revenue, but frankly I don't trust myself to judge the value of these things. Not since 1999, when I traded a whole term's lunch money to Ron Kresley for a shiny Blastoise that he assured me would only increase in value. Kresley. So it's no surprise that the folks at Pokemon HQ occasionally take a break from rolling around in money laughing to release tutorials or software aimed at converting fans of Pokemon video games into fans of the trading card game.
In this game, players will face off in an epic Pokemon battle to see whose Pokemon are the strongest.
This practice dates all the way back to Pokemon Trading Card Game on the Game Boy Color, a 1998 8-bit adaptation of the card game that your grandma might easily have bought you for Christmas, having been lied to by the bloke in the games shop. Of course, it wasn't just Game Boy owners they wanted to convert, so another TCG tutorial spin-off, Pokemon Play It, was made for PC. The only problem was, it looked like this.
Hey, my name is Julie. I'm a Pokemon trainer just like you.
You're nothing like me, Julie. For one, my eyes move sort of normally. Today, this quirky, yet we remind you 100% official Pokemon spin-off is best remembered for these meme-worthy visuals, if something can be best remembered when all you want to do is forget it.
So, do you have what it takes? Then let's go!
Unfortunately, nothing else in this spin-off was as strikingly memorable as its horrible animations, being as it was mostly a tutorial for how the trading card game worked, with few features but a lot of Comic Sans.
Drag an energy card from your hand to Machop.
That's not to say there weren't a few other goodies though. You could download desktop wallpapers or take a quiz that finished up with a printable certificate, the perfect thing to preserve forever in mint condition. If only I could have done the same with that shiny Blastoise card I got off Ron Kresley. Because of course I had to eat it in the end. It was a whole term's lunch money. I was starving. Kresley.
Anniversaries are a big deal in video games and are usually celebrated as such. Look at the huge bash that Nintendo threw for Mario's 35th anniversary, for instance, a celebration that even included a souped-up Game & Watch that told the time and a chance to play Mario Sunshine in 16:9, which also looks like a time but is actually an aspect ratio. So just imagine what they did for the Pokémon 10th anniversary. Put flash games in bags of chicken nuggets. Alright then. This is the surreal genesis of 3 officially licensed Pokémon spin-off games: Pokémon Team Rocket Blastoff, Pokémon Pokeball Launcher, and Pokémon Seek and Find. These were hidden on discs inside bags of Purdue nuggets in 2006 to celebrate 1 decade of the franchise, in what is absolutely the weirdest 10th birthday celebration since the magician Mum and Dad hired for mine found his way into the liquor cabinet. Took a lot of clean-up is all I'll say. It's lucky he had 100 handkerchiefs, really. The games themselves looked less like an official celebration of 10 years of Pokémon and more like the kind of fan-made flash animations that were all the rage at the time. Pokémon Seek and Find is a Where's Wally style search for a hidden Pokémon. Pokeball Launcher sees you press the spacebar to release Pokeballs that you then naturally lob into the faces of Pokémon who are just trying to live their lives. But the oddest of all is Team Rocket Blastoff, where your job is to rescue Pokémon who, in a clear escalation of villainy, are just being thrown wholesale out of a hot air balloon to their death by Team Rocket. Although who knows, we're talking about a tie-in with a chicken company. Maybe Jesse and James are just trialling a new meat processing method. Even more baffling is the fact that all 3 games are extremely rare, so if you have a copy lying around, our advice is to get it on eBay ASAP before collectors have a chance to ask themselves why they would pay nigh on $100 to catch Marill in a bedsheet. Weirdest anniversary ever, except for maybe my parents' 20th. Those 2 have to stop hiring that magician.
Make daily toothbrushing time more fun with Pokémon Smile.
It's a sad fact that in 2021 there are still a few seconds in the day where the average person is not consuming Pokémon content. Well, not for long, thanks to extremely odd spin-off Pokémon Smile, a mobile game about, yes, brushing your teeth.
It's simple to play.
This augmented reality game does exactly what you'd expect from an official Pokémon spin-off game, provided what you expect is to see tiny Pikachus dancing around the inside of a human mouth, while you brush your teeth enthusiastically into a selfie camera to save Pokémon from their greatest enemy of all, cavity-causing bacteria.
Pokémon Smile helps kids develop healthy toothbrushing habits.
As you can guess, the app is aimed at very young children, but I'll ask you the same question I asked the staff at the gate of the Caterpillar coaster at Peppa Pig World. Why in the hell should they have all the fun? Because, I mean, Pokémon Smile isn't just about brushing. You get to capture the Pokémon you rescue from bacteria and stow them in your Pokédex. And that's when you're not collecting Pokémon caps or decorating photos of yourself brushing your teeth with digital stickers. Besides being true gamers, not like the amateur children for whom this was made, it's immediately obvious to us that the mouth-brushing area indicator in the bottom right of the HUD moves on automatically, without actually tracking the direction of your brushing. So as long as the camera can see your toothbrush moving, you can easily complete the game, without actually improving your oral hygiene 1 iota. Take that, children! Now to celebrate with a bite of this refrigerated Snickers bar. Oh no!
Other games must be clamouring for a crossover with Pokémon. Think of the fame, the glory. You think Naughty Dog wouldn't kill to put a Lapras in the next Uncharted? You're kidding yourself. But there have been remarkably few Pokémon crossovers so far, perhaps because Pikachu and pals know what they're worth. Sidebar, it's an estimated $105 billion total revenue to date, about a third more than Star Wars has made since 1977. All of which makes it even more bizarre that one of the very, very few Pokémon crossovers is a mashup with Nobunaga's Ambition, a top-down warlord strategy simulator set in feudal Japan.
敵部隊とのスリリングな駆け引きが戦場を包み込む
That crossover is Pokemon Conquest, and while our research doesn't claim to be exhaustive, we reckon this is probably the only Pokemon spin-off in which you can harness the power of pocket monsters to drive rival warmongers out of 16 rival kingdoms and claim military supremacy over an entire continent. Although I did pick up silver and not gold, so you never know. Released in 2012 for the Nintendo DS, the game has a colourful, cutesy presentation that belies the fact that you do in fact play an ambitious young warlord, whose destiny is to destroy his territorial rivals and bring the whole Ransei region to heel, one quick attack at a time. What might surprise you is that, by all accounts, this Warlord sim is a pretty great strategy game, despite being the weirdest tonal matchup since the Clockwork Orange Droogs showed up in Space Jam 2. The DNA of the Nobunaga's Ambition series can be seen in Pokemon Conquest, not least in the game's antagonist, who, as with the original games, is a take on Oda Nobunaga, nicknamed the Demon King for his fearsome reputation for savage conquest in the latter half of the 16th century. But here he has a Zekrom. It's a weird game, folks.
Magikarp Jump is a game we've discussed several times on this channel, and I'm still not 100% sure it exists. Because would you honestly believe that of all the Pokemon spin-off games that could possibly be imagined, one of the ones that actually made it past the ideas stage was about a village where Magikarp, the most famously useless Pokemon, are both worshipped and entered into jumping contests. Your job is to be the very best, like no one ever was, at training Magikarp in particular to jump high, which is never going to get your picture on the wall in the Pokemon Trainer Hall of Fame, but might see you part with quite a lot of real money in this microtransaction-heavy Carp-em-up. Your Magikarp adventure, and we use that word in the loosest sense, begins with a fishing rod. This is how you fish up a partner Magikarp, who you are responsible for feeding up and training to improve its JP, or jump power. When you're confident your Magikarp is fighting fit, the real game begins as you bring your Carp to a league battle and press the jump button. But of course there's more to the gameplay than that, is what I would love to say. But there isn't. Unfortunately, pressing jump is about the extent of the game. Then it's up to your fishy friend to see who's better at leaping into the air before crashing down through the Earth's crust. Unsurprisingly, Magikarp can't do this for long, and once they hit their level cap are forced into retirement, presumably with their bones all smashed up, at which point it's time to fish up a new one. Indeed, competing in the Jump League is probably the unluckiest thing that can happen to an already unlucky Pokemon, because the list of bizarre events that can befall your Magikarp is alarmingly long, whether it be accidentally swallowing glass or having the dubious honour of being massaged by the mayor. Further convincing us that Magikarp Jump can't possibly actually be a real spin-off is the fact that there are several ways for your prized Carp to die for real in this game, the most likely being getting got by a Pidgeotto while jumping. Pidgeotto enjoys a fish supper while far below your trainer makes the solemn walk home alone, probably reflecting on how Ash Ketchum's Pokemon never get killed by Pidgeottos. Or at least they never show it in the anime. Who knows, maybe that's what happened to Ash's Butterfree as soon as he let him go. What I think about these things.
So those are some of the weird Pokemon games that prove that you don't have to catch them all. Sometimes you can just leave them because they're distinctly weird. But can you remember any weird Pokemon games? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, why not give us a thumbs up? And hey, check out some other videos. We do loads of stuff on Pokemon here. We're a little bit obsessed with finding all the weirdest stuff in those games. And if you really enjoyed, why not click subscribe? And we will see you next time. Bye.